Molweni, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Sessions with Gugu. It's another great Sunday where we can sit together to discuss some great topics and engage in a bit of fun with some entertainment. This show may be a new one, but the mandate is no different. We are here to bring you that good in the comfort of your own home. Coming up on the show, we have a clinical psychologist who will delve into the effects of the coronavirus pandemic onto our mental health. My second guest is a young black pilot breaking boundaries in the industry of aviation. This week, our musical guests are a young male group who'll sit down for an interview and perform later on in the show. And of course, our resident DJ, the man behind the jams, LT, is here with the headline set. So stick around and do engage with us in our comment section. My first guest is clinical psychologist Dr. Mendi Ngute. Dr. Ngute is also a two-time author of the books Unlocking Your Inner Power and Dare to Be Yourself. The coronavirus pandemic has catapulted us into unprecedented times, which have given rise to a fair share of challenges. Some people have lost their businesses, some their jobs, while some were forced to be in isolation while observing the social distance regulations. People have had to bury loved ones without the proper send-offs they deserve. Mothers have had to have babies in isolation without the support of family, and the list goes on. Our mental health refers to cognitive, behavioral, and emotional well-being. It is all about how people think, feel, and behave. Yesterday was Mental Health Day, and Dr. Ngute joins me in studio to speak about the effects of COVID-19 on the mind and how we can rise above that. Doc, kunjani?
Ndiyaphila Gugu, kunjani kuwe?
Ndiyaphila nami Nkosi. Doc, you look lovely.
Thank you.
This red suits you so well, Doc.
Thank you, and thank you
so
for
much.
having me.
It's a pleasure, it's a pleasure. All right then. Doc, what sort of emotions and feelings do you think could have come about ebantwini during this pandemic?
Mhlambe mandiqale ngokuthi Gugu.
Yes.
Remember, us as human beings, we are in our nature social beings.
Sure.
We take joy in interacting with other human beings. We are never created to live in isolation from others. And we don't really become functional in terms of that because our lives are interdependent. But since the virus, we've been forced to live on our own, kind of.
Yeah.
From the day you are diagnosed with corona to the day you have been informed that you were a contact of a person who has COVID-19,
Yeah.
you either have to self-isolate
Yeah.
or you have to quarantine. And that then meant 14 days of being on your own, which has now been reduced to 10 days, fortunately. But however, it does not reduce the impact of that mentally, because 10 days on your own can be quite a long time.
Sure.
It creates a being alone to start with,
Yeah.
and from there there's feelings of loneliness, there's feelings of sadness,
Yeah.
because you're normally bombarded by the news of what has happened, a friend who has passed on,
Yeah.
a relative who has passed on that you cannot even go and bury. So there is sadness, there's a lot of stress, you're worrying about yourself. How am I going to do? How will I be tomorrow? Am I going to feel better?
Yeah.
Is my situation going to get worse? Are my symptoms going to get worse tomorrow? Will I make it through? Will I pull through this 10 or 14 days of being in self-isolation, of self-quarantine? So it created those kind of feelings. There's a lot of stress as well, as you've just said. People lost their jobs, people lost income. So there's been a lot of loneliness, sadness, stress, frustration, anxiety, and depression as well during this period.
Yeah. Just to delve more, when I talk into the depression part, in clinical terms or definitions, how do we define anxiety and depression?
Okay. Anxiety itself is a constant fear or worry. You worry about an unknown situation about the future, which
Sure.
has been most common during this time. People have been very, very anxious. They've been worried about their tomorrow. What will happen to me tomorrow?
Yeah.
And it is not just your normal kind of worry. You know, sometimes you worry about something, but you have the capacity to kind of put it aside and say, okay, I'll think about it later.
Sure.
But this kind of worry is persistent to an extent that it affects your normal day-to-day functioning. And you would identify a number of symptoms when you're anxious. For example, people start overthinking things, thinking,
Yeah.
Am I going to be okay? Will I make it through? Will my business survive? And in that overthinking, it links to sleeplessness sometimes because your mind is on overdrive, you're thinking things through. And your normal anxiety symptoms, you can see them. Sometimes you have your increased heart rate, your sweaty palms, your shaking or your trembling. Those are your normal symptoms that you would find in an anxious person. And yeah, that define anxiety.
Sure, sure. And Doc, now just for the silver lining, because we obviously don't want to delve, onto the negative, but what are the coping mechanisms, one can attain if someone is watching at home and relating to, these symptoms that you've just listed now? What coping mechanisms can one take part of?
Of anxiety.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But I did not speak to depression. I think you asked about
Oh,
depression
yes,
as
I
well.
did.
Can
I
still
did.
do that?
Yes, for sure,
Okay.
Doc. Go ahead. Go
maybe
ahead.
let me separate anxiety from depression
Got
then
you.
so that people know. Depression is more of a mood disorder.
Okay.
It is mostly, I feel I need to talk about that because it's most common.
Got
It
you.
is mostly characterized by a sad mood. You had this sad mood for the better part of the day. And mostly it's not the kind of sad where people say, you'll get over it or just come out of it. We normally say that, I just come out of it, just get over it. And
not
it
that
just
easy.
mostly doesn't go away on its own. So when you are depressed, sometimes it's either you're going through something, a difficulty,
Sure.
or you've gone through a difficulty. So sometimes you're also thinking of possible solutions to an existing problem. And at times you don't find solutions on your own. So it creates those feelings of helplessness. You don't know what to do. Sometimes hopelessness. And that is where people, when they lose hope, your suicidal ideations come in. They begin to think, maybe I just should end it all because I find no solution to this existing problem. And also you would find with depression, there's a lot of cognitive problems like forgetfulness. People get to be very forgetful when they're under a lot of stress or depression.
Sure.
A simple thing, Gugu, you could be, that I find people talk about, you could be carrying your car keys in your hand and you don't know where you've put them.
Yeah.
And you like going around the house checking for them
Yeah.
or asking your child, Bunny, where are my keys?
Sure.
And you tend to blame people, but I put them here whilst you're carrying them. Because
Yeah.
uziphethe apha esandleni because your mind is on overdrive. There's a lot of things going through your mind, and it begins to ring when you see these small things or these small changes, but something is not right with me. And also, I should add this one, which is most common as well. When you're depressed, sometimes you have poor concentration and attention. You can't concentrate well. And that is why in most cases you would find it causes decrease in work performance, in your general performance at work. And that is where sometimes if you can't pick it up at home, it would be picked up. If you had attention to details, suddenly things change. You can't focus, you can't do things in order. And that is what happens. And you could easily noticeable with people when they're depressed, they tend to become socially withdrawn.
Sure.
Someone that you've known who likes having a good time, who likes
Yeah.
partying, all of a sudden when you invite them, Bani, let's go out, people don't want to go out anymore because they are dealing with their own issues and they are struggling, you know. And some people who tend to use alcohol, they tend to even drink more during this time.
Sure.
As because they are facing their own difficulties
Yeah.
and they would kind of run to using substances as a
Yeah.
way of coping. So those are basically your clinical symptoms of depression that one could find.
Sure, good doc. Thank you for clarifying that, for us. So, and what would you say are the healthy then coping mechanisms, for people who can identify with what you've just said?
Okay.
Yeah.
To cope, and normally explain it like this, stress or depression, it's like a wave, my simple way of explaining it, a wave that seeks to drown you or to overwhelm you. So you need to take a conscious decision to stand against the wave.
Sure.
To be able to fight it. It starts in the mind. You must have that conscious decision. I'm going to deal with this, whatever it is that you're facing. That's the first thing. Secondly, in an environment like this where there's been a lot of corona or corona-related stresses, people have to stay home, people work from home,
Yes,
and some are still
yes.
working from home. I encourage people and say, develop a routine for yourself. It helps in your coping because if you just gonna spend your day anyhow, you can end up not having done anything. But if you wake up knowing that I'm gonna wake up, I'll take a jog, I will bath, I will do that assignment, I will do this task. By the time your day is finished, you kind of feel that you've done something or you've achieved something, which helps even in terms of boosting your immune system, your feelings as well, how you feel. And also, I normally say what is important is to keep physically healthy.
Sure.
There's a lot of benefits to exercise. It's more than just having a beautiful body like you, Gugu. It's about keeping healthy,
Yes, Doc.
and getting your mind functioning, because there's a link between your physical body and your mind.
Yes.
And remember, exercise releases endorphins, which are your feel-good hormones. So after exercise, you feel good and you feel better.
Sure.
And also, what is important during depressive times or anxiety-provoking times is to make sure that you eat healthy. Sometimes when we're too stressed or depressed, we don't want to eat anything. And that is not healthy, because it is not going to help your body to cope. It is not going to help your mind to function better and come up with possible solutions for your own problems, and probably give you more clarity in terms of what you could do and what you could think about, because you're compromising your mind and you're compromising your physical body as well when you don't eat healthy. It's quite important. Yes, I know you're going through a lot of stress. Most people say, I don't have appetite. Try to eat the little that you can, but get your body to function.
Sure.
Because if you can't get your body to function, you can't think of possible solutions to whatever you're going through, or and be able to come out of your problems. And also, I normally say it becomes important to get support.
Yes.
Social support is key.
Sure.
Which is what the coronavirus has kind of taken away from us.
Yeah.
It's important to get social support when you're dealing with a problem. I know a lot of people will say, no, but Doc, I don't trust people. If I tell this person this, sometimes they talk about it. I don't have a straightforward answer to that, but I normally say if a person talks about your problem, then it's their own baby.
Sure.
But what matters is that when you could have been relieved out of that problem, or you could have got a solution to what you wanted, So social support is key. Have social support. Identify who your social support is, because, as I said earlier on, it's difficult to deal with things on your own. You need someone to help you some way. You need someone who's I'm stuck, Gugu, imoto ndine problem ne-tire. Then I can be able to call you and say, please come and pick me up. Then it reduces my stress levels, Have that kind of social support, people that you can kind of rely on and talk about. And also what helps when you're dealing with a lot of stress, I know meditation helps a lot. A lot of people do meditation.
Sure.
You meditate. It's important to kind of reflect on what you're going through, your role in it, because I know sometimes it's easy for us. We want to say, someone else did this to me, but what did you do? What is your role? What can you do differently as a person as well?
Yeah.
Because we have played a role. I'm going to add this as my second last, probably because I am a Christian person.
Yeah.
Prayer works. I encourage people to pray because why? It's a known thing. It's evidenced actually in scientific papers that it does work, because I think I explained to you as a clinician that probably it's because when you pray, you give your problems to someone else that you believe is going to help you with your problems.
Yes.
So it kind of lessens your anxiety.
Absolutely.
It kind of lessens your stress as well. So those are basically some of the things that I could say at this point. I'm sure I've not exhausted them, but maybe let me just say those.
Very
for now.
helpful. Very, very helpful, Doc. And Doc, I just want to delve into now your books. Dare to be yourself and unlocking your inner power. Please tell us what you talk about, those two books and how it is that we can actually get a hold of the copies.
Okay.
Yeah.
My greatest love is self-empowerment. So my books, they talk on self-empowerment, but different angles of them.
Okay.
My first one, Unlocking Your Inner Power, is about just your general empowerment and understanding of self better.
Yes.
But the second one says, Dare to be yourself. And it's kind of saying, it's okay to be yourself.
Yes.
You can be yourself.
Yes.
You don't have to be anyone else. We don't need another Gugu. You must be your own Gugu and the person that you were meant to be.
Absolutely.
And it is okay to be that person without being scared of anyone else. So I think we live in a space where we kind of forced to be like other people, and we kind of get shy of being who we are. And you cannot go anywhere with wanting to be a duplicate of someone else.
Sure.
What matters is being you.
Truth.
And feeling okay about being you.
Sure.
And running your own race.
Yes.
And doing you as Gugu, as a person. Okay, so you asked me, where can you get the
Doc,
books?
yes, where can I get?
Okay, my books are available at Steve Biko
Art Center.
Arts Center in King Williamstown.
Sure.
I've been hoping to expand them to get them to East London, but unfortunately we haven't done it yet.
Okay, sure.
Hopefully we will. But yes, Steve Biko has our books for
Lovely
now.
stuff. Thank you so much, Doc, for joining us in studio and adding some much valuable insight to the topic of mental health.
Thank you so much for having me, Gugu. And thank you
goes.
for the viewers at home.
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
Right, that was Dr. Mendi Ngute unpacking mental health matters and how it is that we can cope during this pandemic, especially with one that has withdrawn us and left us isolated. My biggest takeaway is to keep a positive mind and want to be all right while also staying physical and being healthy. We thank you, Doc, really for joining us in the studio this evening. Coming up after the break, we have our young pilot, so don't go anywhere.
Kiwane Resort in Buffalo City Metro, Eastern Cape, South Africa. A great ambience, tranquil environment, and a place to be. An added value has been completed. Buffalo City Metro Executive Mayor Councillor Xola Phakathi will be opening a new conference center, a game changer in this breathtaking facility. Join Lulu Armans broadcasting live on the following platforms: Buffalo City Metro Facebook page, Kids Ngesi Radio Facebook page, Stage Elements YouTube channel. The broadcast starts at 11 a.m. The Eastern Cape Department of Health extends an invitation to all Lilita Nursing College 2020 graduates to attend a virtual graduation ceremony on the online platforms provided below: Eastern Cape Department of Health Facebook page, KNR Facebook page, and Stage Elements YouTube channel. Virtual graduation is on the 14th October 2020 at 1 p.m. Lilita College of Nursing, a vibrant nursing education and training institution that is relevant and responsive to the health needs of the country. Combat COVID-19.Africa is a collaborative digital platform developed for digital volunteers, industry, data donors, NGOs, government, civil society, and other stakeholders across Africa and the diaspora.
Thank you to all the digital volunteers who have built Combat COVID-19 as we mark exactly 6 months from the day we started. Thank you, colleagues. We really appreciate your work. And this is, again, part and parcel of volunteerism in Africa, part and parcel of being non-profit, and part and parcel of us, contributing to the continent that we all love. And this work has been done by people from all corners, speaking all different languages, from Arabic to French, Portuguese, English, Swahili. Everybody worked together to build this platform. It is what we call VAS, Volunteer as a Service. We sincerely appreciate everybody's work in creating this, both men and women who have really worked hard, even to convene the symposium. That really was one of the most outstanding events that we have seen in the African continent. Continue to build the platform. We really are very excited. This is your platform, built by Africans, for the benefit of Africa's NGOs, civil society, startups, SMMEs, business, government, and almost everybody has a right to use this platform. As we have said, it is Creative Commons platform built on open source. Thank you, enjoy, and let's continue to build and get more people to use this platform.
Welcome back to SSG. Before the ad break, we had clinical psychologist Dr. Mendi Ncute. Shout out to you, Lungisa, as well, encouraging the good doc in the comment section to say keep on the work that she is doing. Truly, we are blessed to have people like her in the industry. My next guest in studio soars the South African skies as a commercial pilot and a flight instructor. Sipho Mangezi, who grew up in a rural area, said his interest for flying was sparked by the planes that would fly across his village. Through much perseverance, Sipho is now a commercial pilot license holder. In addition to breaking boundaries as a young black pilot, he's making sure that no one is left behind. And by that, he's been at the forefront of career guidance in aviation while speaking to children in underprivileged areas. Sipho says he makes sure his plane never has an empty seat while giving rides to people who have never flown before at no cost. Sipho joins us in studio to speak about his journey in aviation. Hi, Sipho.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thank you for honoring the invite. It's good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
First things first, can you tell me about the work, theory and practical, that went into you obtaining your commercial pilot license? We'll then delve into what that is. But first things first, the work that went into it.
All right. Okokuqala, I'm from a village in Namakwe.
Sure.
All right. So practically, there's no airport.
Yeah, ne?
There's no pilot
Sure.
in Namakwe.
Sure, sure.
I'm actually the first one.
Wow.
So
Shine.
yeah. So first and foremost, even dreaming about becoming a commercial pilot wasn't there, because we dream about things that we see. Yeah.
Sure.
Things as exposed kuzo. So I had never seen an airport. I had never seen an aeroplane up close.
Yeah.
So that was the first challenge, was even having the dream to begin with. All right.
Yeah.
And once the dream was there, the other challenge was financing it.
Sure.
You know, paying the fees, and so it's been a very long, dark road. But here we persevered and we kept on pushing.
Yeah.
And we've been here. Theoretically, it's quite stringent, becoming a commercial pilot. I always do it as exposed schooling, and I hear that kids, pass mark is something like, I think 40%.
Yeah, I'm not even sure these days, yes.
To become a pilot, you need to pass minimum 75%. So when I got there, I had to just push, because I wasn't just doing it for myself as well. I was representing Abantu Bakoti, So that is, so the pressure was there. It's been there, and even Angoku, it's still there. So it's a journey.
I can imagine.
It's been intense.
Yeah,
it's been intense.
Yeah.
So.
And the hours that go into the practical work?
All right, look, we have, to break it down,
Yeah.
we've got 4 types of licenses under Aviation Regulation Part 61.
Sure.
We have an SPL, which is your student pilot's license.
Okay.
So that just means you're a student.
Okay.
It's not a qualification.
All right. Noted. Noted.
And then following that one is a PPL, which is a private pilot license.
Got you.
All right. That qualifies you to fly a small aeroplane during the day.
Okay.
Taking around maybe 3 passengers.
Okay.
And you need 45 hours minimum for that.
Sure.
So it is not a professional qualification. It's good for people who want to buy their own aeroplanes and fly on the weekends as a hobby.
Recreationally.
Recreationally, yes.
Sure.
And then professionally, we have a commercial pilot's license and an airline transport pilot license.
Okay.
Now, those ones are the professional qualifications.
Got you.
A commercial pilot's license requires 200 hours minimum training. And then an ATPL, your airline transport pilot license, requires 1,500 hours. So
this is a lot.
It's a lot. Now, if to do one lesson is costing a student roughly 2,000 rand an hour, you can imagine how much it is. You can imagine how it's quite hectic.
Yeah.
So take that 2,000 pound and multiply by 200 hours just to get your commercial license.
Sure.
It is insanely expensive.
Let's talk about some of the glitches that you went through, because speaking to you during the week, you did say, look, Gugu, it was challenging.
Yeah.
Let's delve into those challenges and what kept you going, rather.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, look, I've already mentioned the challenge to have the dream in the first place. But once the dream was there, it was activated, I knew that, okay, I want to do this. The biggest challenge was paying for the flying fees.
Sure.
We simply didn't have the money. You think you've got money. Until you get to flying school and you realize that,
Yikes.
You're like, this is not it.
Jesus.
So, Amazali, obviously they had, those policies, that educational policies that they had put aside, and they had some savings. So we thought, it's cool, man. Let's just go to flying school. We got this.
Yeah.
And then I got there and I realized imali that my parents had saved all these years will only last a week in flying school. Yeah. So the biggest challenge that I've had was paying for the flying fees.
Yeah.
Right. So as a result, the training took much longer
Yeah.
than what it was supposed to. The other challenge was integration, if I can call it that. Because you come to this environment and you're the only one who looks the way that
you do. Yeah. Yeah.
You've got a different lifestyle. So integration was also a bit of a challenge. There's a social circle that I wasn't part of. There were other students who had a different life that I had.
Yeah.
They would meet on weekends, do things, and have braais. Things would be shared on certain WhatsApp groups, but you're not part of that. So even integration was a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
But those are small things. The biggest one was the financial.
Sure.
Yeah.
And how did you rise above all of that? What kept you going? What kept you thinking, you know what, this is the dream?
The mindset.
Absolutely.
It's the mindset that kept me going. And most importantly, I had faith that, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and I am going to do it. So, look, people speak of hard work, dedication, perseverance, and. Personally, I believe that if you don't have the faith that you're going to make it, then you're not going to make it.
Nice.
You can work as hard as you want. You can have, the most perseverance. You can be the hardest worker in the world. But if you don't believe that I am going to achieve, if you don't believe that it's possible, it's not going to happen. So it is faith in you that says, I am going to do this. It's possible for me to achieve A, B, C, D. It's that faith that activates the hard work. It's easier for you to wake up in the morning to say, hey, I'm going to the airport, I'm going to school.
Yes.
Why? Because I'm going to be a pilot. I know it's going to happen.
Love that.
If you tell yourself that, this is maybe not for me,
Yes.
then you won't even have the desire to wake up and go to flying school.
Sure.
So there's power in believing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. Delving into the believing, Sipho, I love the fact that you were working with young children and visiting schools to speak on careers in aviation. Let's speak about your work with young people. Okay. Yeah, let's delve more into that.
I'm still doing it. Yeah.
Lovely. I don't tell me because of COVID, but now you are still.
Just recently, when this Ekala.
Okay.
Okay. And ngapha kweNqamakwe.
Sure.
Even now with the COVID, so I'm still doing it.
Okay, good.
The reason I do it, I strongly believe that abantu bakuthi lack motivation. Okay, and also besides motivation, they don't dream beyond what they can see. All right. So if you go to your villages, Eslalini, kukho inkomo, negusha, and that's it. Many children, even today, they've never left their environment. They haven't even been to East London.
Eish.
So also they go through so many challenges.
Yeah.
When we look at the statistics, even at the end of the year, when they're talking about the matric pass rate, Eastern Cape is usually at the bottom. Somewhere there. Unfortunately. The main reason for that, I believe, is that Eastern Cape is predominantly rural. So Abantwana don't have access to YouTube. They don't have access to the internet and many other things. As a result, they don't do so well, even as Ncwadini. So I feel like we have a social responsibility.
Sure.
All of us as young professionals, we have a social responsibility to go back. And just, give them the space to dream. So I'm using the resources at my disposal.
Yes.
Now I happen to be a pilot, so I take a plane. I use that.
What? Oh my gosh.
So abanye abantu, look, you've got other professions, and I would like to encourage abantu, whether you're a doctor, whatever you are, go back and use the resources at your disposal to just give back. So I take them flying. Awesome. I go as Lalini did, hey man, listen, let's go on a plane ride. Obviously, in the Thailand career exhibition, I tell them about the careers in aviation. I said, we go to the airport. Oh God, they've never been to an airport.
You know?
Yeah, and then we go in and we fly. And I let them fly the airplane. Just literally sit next to me. This is the cockpit.
Oh my gosh.
And just feel the controls with me.
Yeah.
You know, so look, I asked about Bandwana, what's your dream in life? What are you hoping to achieve?
Yes.
And then you get answers like, like la fama kapastron.
Oh no.
That I would have made it.
Oh no.
If ngaqhuba la bhasi yakwazi then I would have made it. But these are the aspirations. So when I fly with them, I'm showing them a different perspective. You know, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, love that, love that.
So I think it's very important, even for them to see a role model that looks like them, that speaks the same language that they speak.
Yeah.
A practical example, on my way here to the studio right now, it was some kids playing around the street.
Sure.
I hear them talking to each other amongst themselves.
Sure.
Hey, pilot, and then I'm encouraged. I'm listening. We pilot nyani. Yandi, yo, na I'm pilot.
Love that.
And that really touched my heart.
Yes.
Because they're seeing someone who speaks their language, somebody who looks like them becoming a pilot. So now they can start dreaming about it.
Yes.
So most of what I'm doing is that I'm just activating the dreams and showing them that they've got the potential. They can become pilots and anything else they want to become. Look, I'm not saying Abantu must all become pilots. I'm saying there's more to life than what you're seeing in front of you.
Sure.
If I can do it at 5,000 feet above mean sea level, then great.
Sure. Wow. I'm so inspired, just by having you here. And I appreciate the fact that you were like, no matter what industry we're in, if we've got the resources, let's plug back in, And just lastly, the no seat empty on your aircraft. I love that. You told me a really cool story about how you take people who have never flown before and you insist on giving them lifts.
Yeah.
Let's delve into that. Oh my word, imagine you're hiking and you're fine. Here's a pilot saying, let's get on a plane. Love that.
So, look, I've been a pilot for quite some time. And throughout my flying career, I've never had an empty seat plane in Yam. I've always made sure that I find somebody who has never had the opportunity to fly in my plane. So even during my training, look, you get solo hours that you must do solo. Fine, those, I'm not counting those. But to become a commercial pilot, you have to do 100 hours PIC by yourself. And you can take friends and family.
Okay.
And most people, they just take their friends and their family, which is fine. I've done that. I took my mom and my dad.
Sure.
And my siblings. When I was done with that, I said, look, I need to go back.
Yes.
And take those people. Shine. Everywhere. To say that, look, you've never left Namakwe. Let's go to East London. That on its own is big. When we get there, let's get on a plane, let's fly.
Wow.
So there's flights that I do. Let's say I'm flying some people to PE or wherever.
Sure.
I'm going to drop them back there. And then must come back now with an empty plane.
Yeah.
When I get to PE, I make sure I recruit people. I go on social media, on Facebook. There's even a lift. There's a lift page on Facebook. It's called PEEL
Lift Club, I think.
Lift Club,
yeah.
I've posted on that platform a couple of times to say, hey, listen, guys, if you're traveling between East London and PE,
wow,
and you've never had the opportunity to fly before, let's go. I'm offering a free lift.
Sure.
And the Bantu will come and say, guys, please, let's give opportunity to those people who've never flown.
Yes.
If I'm not coming right with that, I literally go into the hitchhiking spot to find Umdo Hiker. If you lift Papala East London.
Yeah.
I'll recruit that person, man. It's quite challenging because they don't believe that someone who's a pilot could be coming to them, giving them a free lift in a plane. So
wow.
I have to do some convincing. But yeah, it's all in the name of, this is the responsibility, this is the, I'm blessed to have access to these things.
Amen.
So let me share it with other people.
Lovely.
So that's what I'm doing.
Lovely
I've
stuff.
got those things at my disposal.
Sure.
So I'm sharing what I have with other people.
And thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for coming to the show. Truly appreciate it.
Don't thank me. Is it up? Is the time up?
Time is
No, no.
Show me your
No.
I'm telling you,
That was
you've been
quick.
sitting for more than 10,
Really?
10 to 15 minutes, yeah.
Ask me more questions.
We'll have a lovelier chat one other time, but we have to make way, obviously, for our other guests. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Uzonginayo in the comments saying, Yo, siyabulela, that long, darkest road was leading to the bright light we see today. Go, Ngamakwe pilot, go. So that is some words of encouragement there for Rusipo, who's doing phenomenal work, uplifting young black people as well in the aviation industry and saying, look, these things are possible. If I can do it, then so can you. Truly, truly inspirational. After the break, we have our musical guest on SSG this evening, so don't go anywhere.
CombatCovid19.Africa is a collaborative digital platform developed for digital volunteers, industry, data donors, NGOs, government, civil society, and other stakeholders across Africa and the diaspora.
Thank you to all the digital volunteers who have built Combat COVID-19 as we mark exactly 6 months from the day we started. Thank you, colleagues. We really appreciate your work. And this is, again, part and parcel of volunteerism in Africa, part and parcel of being non-profit, and part and parcel of us, contributing to the continent that we all love. And this work has been done by people from all corners, speaking all different languages, from Arabic to French, Portuguese, English, Swahili. Everybody worked together to build this platform. It is what we call VAS, Volunteer as a Service. We sincerely appreciate everybody's work in creating this, both men and women who have really worked hard, even to convene the symposium. That really was one of the most outstanding events that we have seen in the African continent. Continue to build the platform. We really are very excited. This is your platform built by Africans, for Africans, for the benefit of Africa's NGOs, civil society, startups, SMMEs, business, government, and almost everybody has a right to use this platform. As we have said, it is Creative Commons platform built on open source. Thank you, enjoy, and let's continue to build and get more people to use this platform.
Kiwane Resort in Buffalo City Metro, Eastern Cape, South Africa. A great ambience, tranquil environment, and a place to be. An added value has been completed. Buffalo City Metro Executive Mayor Councillor Xola Phakathi will be opening a new conference center, a game changer in this breathtaking facility. Join Lulu Armans broadcasting live on the following platforms: Buffalo City Metro Facebook page, Kids Ngesi Radio Facebook page, Stage Elements YouTube channel. The broadcast starts at 11 a.m.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening for what has already been a jam-packed show on Sunday Sessions with Gugu. We always appreciate your support, so thank you very much. So for the very first time on SSG, we have a group as our musical guests. Child's Party is the name of the young all-male group with 2 of its 5 members who will be joining me to sit down in studio this evening for a little bit of a chat. Then later on in the show, we will have a performance from the full group. But until then, let's hear from Child's Party's 2 members, who are Falco Phelps and Paco Balmain. Balmain or Balmain?
Balmain.
Balmain! Hello, guys.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome stuff, awesome stuff. So thank you so much for joining us on the show this evening.
It's a pleasure,
Sure stuff. So who is Child's Party and how was the group formed? I think you guys can just coordinate in answering that question.
I'll go first.
Sure.
Child's Party basically is a group right, of people, individuals who just started making music around 2015, 2016.
Okay.
We're all friends around here in East London.
Okay.
But basically, you could say child's party is anything that come to your mind, that could come to your mind. Like, if you're feeling a bit angry or a bit out of place, you mainly just go back to your thoughts as a child, you know? As a child, you don't have any worries, right? You just have fun.
Okay.
And party right there, a party you never wanted to end. So hence child's party.
Oh, okay.
Party like a child. That's what it means for us.
Hleli nje kumnandi.
Yes.
So, Falco, maybe you can tell me, when did you guys formulate the group? I like the fact that it's based on friendship, which is pretty dope. So, when was this? Give me a timeline.
You know, it was actually like around 2015, 16. Yeah, 2015, 16. We were actually running around East London, like recording, trying to record. We didn't even have like one song at that time. So we were just like really, really pushing for it. And we noticed that like a lot of people would like charge, or like they just have something that they want out of it. So we were like, you know what? We just got to start our own thing at this point, because running around is not going to help us.
Sure. And obviously, let's not leave the other members out. So, the names of the other members in the group.
Well, we have Zuba, who's our producer.
Okay.
Yeah, he goes by Bill Cakes though on Facebook.
All right.
And then we have Breezy, Summers, and our youngest, D-Roy Ferguson.
Okay.
He's probably going to hate for me to say that he's the youngest, but he is the youngest.
Sure thing. So, for a person sitting at home and who's not familiar with Child's Party's music, let's delve into the kind of music that you guys record.
Well, we make all types of music, but in our generation now, they would call it trap or hip-hop, but we mainly make anything that comes to mind, whether it's alternative, R&B, a bit of soul, but we are rappers. We rap, strictly rap.
I feel like it's all about how we're feeling in studio, really. Like, if we're feeling like we hyped up at that moment, we're going to definitely make something hyped up. Or if somebody's in their feelings and they start going in, and then obviously I'm going to get in my feelings and start getting in.
Sure. So then, within your versatility, guys, you're telling me that you're not limited to one particular genre, which is pretty cool. Where has the music been released? You know, how can then people access Child's Party's music?
Well, our music's on SoundCloud. Well, it started out on SoundCloud in the beginning, right? As my friend Phelps said, we were running around for studio time, so we had to put our songs first on SoundCloud. That's our first project. Our first project was I think
No, it was not. It was
it was a long time ago, but like there's a project on SoundCloud though. We have them there. It's Sleeping Patterns, I think. No?
Yeah, Sleeping Patterns.
Yeah. And then we have also music out on Spotify, iTunes,
Apple Music.
We don't have projects out yet, like as in full body projects. But we have a whole lot of singles, 4 singles, I think.
Yeah, and we're keeping them
right now.
We're keeping them coming too.
Yeah,
keeping them coming 24/7.
And just for our viewers at home, Child's Party is CHXLDSPLAY, in case you want to, just go onto those digital platforms to get their music. Alrighty then, so guys, you mentioned that if someone is in their fields, you guys will record a song. If someone is feeling hyped up, you guys will record a song, which is good. But do you find that there's a common thing that you speak about within your music? Is there a common thread or certain themes that you guys delve into?
I think we dive into a whole lot of pain.
Sure.
We go through a whole lot of pain. I feel as youngsters in the industry that we're in right now as music, a whole lot of things are not in the forefront. Like the moves that are happening behind the music, how to get your music there, equipment. So the means not to have anything. That's a whole lot of pain, right? You feel like you're stuck. As Dr. Dr. Nguta was explaining about like depression. So we've gone through a whole lot of those feelings, individually and as a group. So our music is mainly pushed by pain and then what we've been through.
And it's really, really tough being like a musician. Like imagine going to your mom and being like, yo, mom, I don't want to go study right now. I need to go studio. I need to go record. Like I need a sponsor. Like it's really tough because where we come from, it's like our moms have already worked to get us like where we are. Like that's big enough. That's really, really big because we come from very far.
Sure.
So to let that all go, it's like, to them, it's like you're just letting it all go now.
Sure.
And it's like you have to grind and push because we're independent, we're not signed. we have to make our own money.
Sure.
So it's really tough.
Yeah,
it's really
guys.
tough. It's really
Yeah.
tough. So we just put that all in our music, really.
Got you. But you guys seem like big dreamers. You know, you want to obviously achieve more.
Yeah, we're thinking like pilots.
We're going
Love
up.
that.
We're going up. We're going
Love
up.
that. You guys are going up. So where do you see yourself as a group? You know what I mean? And, you know, what kind of strides do you want to be taking? What kind of achievements do you want to see yourself getting in the near future?
Well, obviously, international accord is one of our dreams to
Okay.
just be, not just like become big here in South Africa, though South Africa is our home and we want to be known here. An international accord will be something for me, like individually, I would go crazy just to have one accolade or a Grammy or something. So that's where we're thinking. That's how we want to take our music. We want the people out there around the world to know that little place called East London, there's something happening there.
Got
Something
you.
happening.
Exactly what you said. Like, I agree with that 100%. But I feel like as well, I want Africa as a whole, not just South Africa. I want Africa to be able to say, like, I don't have to go listen to an American artist or so-and-so, because there's already African boys who are doing this. So let me just go check them out.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. We need the support from Africa. Like, we have a lot of people in Africa.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people. But you wouldn't say so looking at people's plays or streams, because we really need the support as artists. Really need the support from our people before
Yeah.
going out and abroad. Like, from our people, we need
Yeah.
it.
Before I let you guys go, I want to delve into what you're talking about the support, you know. On the show, we're huge advocates of Eastern Cape talent, putting it on a platform, giving it the spotlight. So how have you guys noticed, what is the industry like in the city and in the province? How has that been for you guys?
Well, I feel like here in East London, not a whole lot of people know us, right?
Okay.
Because of, let's say, how can I say, internet.
Okay.
Internet thing and not being, like, what they call it, clout.
Yeah,
it's a
clout,
whole lot of
clout,
clout.
clout.
So let me just be honest, whole lot of clout. People chase clout. People are known for what they don't do and what they represent, actually. So they don't do what they represent, but how they look in the dress and what car they are in. That's what's happening in East London right now. We see a whole lot of clout happening. So we're trying to move our music around the whole clout thing and not using clout, but coming out for real. So we're seeing a whole lot of like people listening to our music, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like my friend Phelps just said, like, we want to make sure people know our struggle. I feel like if you put the struggle forefront first, the music will speak for itself.
People need to relate.
Yeah.
People need to relate. So, like, the industry here in East London, like he said, like, a lot of people are going around cloud or whatever, but like, I think a positive thing, I think like the young kids in East London, like, are able to say, you know what, like, nobody's booking us for shows, so you know what, I'm gonna go book that Bucks or Wise Guys or whatever, and I'm gonna make my own show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna invite everybody that I can invite and just make something out of it. So that like is a positive thing out of like the industry in terms of East London. But it would be really great to be able to know that, like, okay, there's a certain club that is taking youth in. I remember back in the day.
Yes, that would be nice.
I don't remember exactly what club it was, but I remember like every Friday, like kids who were just making music, they just go there and perform and have fun or
Giving
whatever.
a platform.
Yeah.
So creating spaces, creating platforms
Exactly.
is how we can help each
Help
other
each
grow.
other, yeah.
Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. So what song will you guys be performing for us, by the by?
Big Body Black Coupe.
Big
Body.
Body Black
Black Coupe.
Coupe.
Yeah, that's our latest single. We actually dropped it on Friday. So,
Oh, okay.
It's a
yeah,
newbie.
we're
It's a
doing that.
newbie.
Fresh
Out the box.
performing here.
Right here.
Ooh, love to
It's an
hear
exclusive.
it.
It's an exclusive.
Okay, cool, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
It's a pleasure.
Really looking forward to you guys' performance.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty, then you are still tuned into Sunday Sessions with Gugu. This was Phelps and Paco from Child's Party, who will be performing for us later on in the show, actually right after the break. So don't go anywhere so you can see that performance.
Isebe lophuhliso loqoqosho okusingqongileyo nezokhenketho eMpuma Kapa libambisene nezibuko lasengqurha eNelson Mandela Bay liza kuhlinzeka umbhiyozo ongumqelo obonakalayo kuphuhliso loqoqosho kweli phondo. Izibuko liza kube limilisela iziseko zophuhliso zengundoqo ezifumene ukuzinza ngesibonelelo sikarhulumente wephondo se-Stimulus Fund, nqoba leyo ejonge ukukhululela amatyathanga abambe uphuhliso loqoqosho. Oonondaba bavulelekile ukuba bebeyinxalenye yoku. Lo msitho uza kuboniswa ngqo kwiKithingesi Radio Facebook page, Eastern Cape Economic Development page, Stage Elements YouTube channel ngo-9 kusasa nge-16th October 2020. The Eastern Cape Department of Health extends an invitation to all Lilita Nursing College 2020 graduates to attend a virtual graduation ceremony on the online platforms provided below: Eastern Cape Department of Health Facebook page, KNR Facebook page, and Stage Elements YouTube channel. Virtual graduation is on the 14th October 2020 at 1 p.m. Lilita College of Nursing, a vibrant nursing education and training institution that is relevant and responsive to the health needs of the country. Kiwane Resort in Buffalo City Metro, Eastern Cape, South Africa. A great ambience, tranquil environment, and a place to be. An added value has been completed. Buffalo City Metro Executive Mayor Councillor Xola Phakathi will be opening a new conference center, a game changer in this breathtaking facility. Join Lulu Armand's broadcasting live on the following platforms: Buffalo City Metro Facebook page, Kithingesi Radio Facebook page, Stage Elements YouTube channel. The broadcast starts at 11 a.m.
Disrespectful niggas cause I'm off the backwood. I love Marilyn Monroe, my girl, she act good.
You just made a bad move. Critical, I'm that soon. How I get it, I just shoot. 2 sticks out the gutter too. One was auto, one was manual. I hop into a truck, let's go Nathaniel. She ain't scholarship, don't you give me a lot of living. Throwing hundreds out the back, she got her lashes fit. Throwing hundreds on the back, she got her lashes fit. Throwing fingers on the back, she says her last shit. Yeah, that's a smash shit.
Oh, big body, black, cool. I just touch a bit because I had to. Disrespectful niggas cause I'm off the backwood. I love Marilyn Monroe, my bitch, she act good. Hello, oh, big body, black, cool. I just hit you good because I had to. Disrespectful niggas cause I'm off the backwood. I love Marilyn Monroe, my girl, she act good.
Yeah, she need a pop his ass, why she act good? Rich daddy, white girl, why she act good? I'ma whip it in the lot, smoking backwards. Had to work for a week, lost the whole roof. Yeah, you and your feeling like I read through. I'm just flipping and I'm doing things I should do. Whoa, I hear her talking about my ego. That you're a stick, I finesse, I think it's lethal.
Oh, big body, black, cool, yeah, I just hit you good because I had to. Disrespectful niggas cause I'm off the backwood. Hello, Marilyn Monroe, my girl, she act good. Hello, whoa, big body, black, cool. I just hit you good because I had to. Disrespectful niggas cause I'm off the backwood. Hello, Marilyn Monroe, my bitch, she act good. Oh, body black, cool.
Yes, sir.
Body black, cool.
Body black.
Body black, cool.
Yes, sir.
Body black, cool.
Yeah.
Body black, cool.
Yeah.
Body black, cool.
Yeah.
Body black, cool.
Yeah, just party.
Yeah, body black, cool.
You better check it out, Charles Party out right now.
Charles Party all around now. Room
Big
247.
guys.
Jimmy Fallon, big body black, cool. Oh, love you guys.
Kiwane Resort in Buffalo City Metro, Eastern Cape, South Africa. A great ambience, tranquil environment, and a place to be. and added value has been completed. Buffalo City Metro Executive Mayor Councillor Xola Phakathi will be opening a new conference center, a game changer in this breathtaking facility. Join Lulu Armans broadcasting live on the following platforms: Buffalo City Metro Facebook page, Kids Ngesi Radio Facebook page, Stage Elements YouTube channel. The broadcast starts at 11 a.m. Isebe lophuhliso loqoqosho okusingqongileyo nezokhenketho eMpuma Kapa libambisene nezibuko laseNgquha eNelson Mandela Bay liza kuhlinzeka umbhiyozo ongumqelo obonakalayo kuphuhliso loqoqosho kweli phondo. Izibuko liza kube limilisela iziseko zophuhliso zengundoqo ezifumene ukuzinza ngesibonelelo sikarhulumente wephondo se-Stimulus Fund, ngxowa leyo ejonge ukukhululela amatyathanga abambe uphuhliso loqoqosho. Oonondaba bavulelekile ukuba bebeyinxalenye yoku. Lo msitho uza kuboniswa ngqo kwiKids Ngesi Radio Facebook page, Eastern Cape Economic Development page, Stage Elements YouTube channel ngo-9 kusasa nge-16th October 2020. The Eastern Cape Department of Health extends an invitation to all Lilita Nursing College 2020 graduates to attend a virtual graduation ceremony on the online platforms provided below: Eastern Cape Department of Health Facebook page, KNR Facebook page, and Stage Elements YouTube channel. Virtual graduation is on the 14th October 2020 at 1 p.m. Lilita College of Nursing, a vibrant nursing education and training institution that is relevant and responsive to the health needs of the country.
Good evening and welcome back to SSG. It's been a jam-packed show. Before the ad break, we had Child's Party, who performed an exclusive for us here on SSG. Their music is available on all digital platforms. We really do thank the gents for coming through. Before I get even more tongue-tied, LT is here with the headline set. And of course, he is booked and busy. He's playing at Monty's tonight, so do check him out. Our resident DJ LT, the effervescent of the show, is here with the headline set. Let's do it.
Dig it. Dig it. Dig it.
Thank you so much for that dope set, DJ LT, with the headline set, ending off what has been an amazing show on Sunday Sessions with Gugu this evening. I'd like to thank my studio guest, clinical psychologist Dr. Mending Nute. Thank you for joining us and adding some insight on how to maintain our mental health during this tough time we call a pandemic. Also, our aviation expert and flyer and pilot, Zonke Konke Bonke, Sipho Magesi. Thank you so much for joining us in studio and for the work that you are doing in underprivileged areas and giving kids the opportunity to be able to access things like aviation. And of course, my musical guests, Child Party. What a refreshing group of young gentlemen doing the things in the East London scene. Thank you to them. Their music is available on all digital platforms. You can get it there. LT and I will see you next week. It's been good.